Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Raine Plays. Today we're at ZenView, and this is 720. It's still in the fashion district. I created Laurel Savage and Joe Norman. I don't know anything about them because this took me 2 days, and the result is disastrous. This whole thing was a disaster. I'm going into all of this blind because I've never been here before. This is new to me, Myshuno. So every apartment I go into, I've never been there before. And this one, it just threw me. It is oddly shaped, weird corners. You can do some things, you can't do others. I had no idea what to do with this thing. At all. I stared at it. I did something and then I deleted it, and then I tried something else and then I deleted it. And very disappointing. I can honestly say this was the worst build so far, and actually mean it from this 2020 standpoint, not 2017 when I first got the game. This is my worst build. And I'm getting so fed up with Myshuno. This turned out to be such a disappointment. And that's the thing about buying the, DLC? Is that what they call it? I don't think so. Downloadable content. I don't know. My chair is farting. It's not me. I will try and... The packs and the stuff packs and the... Most of the time I make a decision and it's the wrong one. Windenburg was wrong. This one was wrong. I'm just so disappointed. I would probably never come back here to play. And it's sad. I mean, yeah, I got some items. I guess I could say that much. I got some items. And it does help, if you rely heavily on CC items, the more packs you have, the more CC items you can obtain. Because I noticed, I would say a majority of CC items are not base game compatible. You have to own a pack in order to get that CC. So the more you have, the more you can download. And that's what I'm assuming is DLC, a CC. Again, I shouldn't do that because I don't know anything. I especially suck at abbreviating things. Everybody does that, and I just sit there staring at it like, what is this supposed to mean? I was never good at those. I had no idea what to do. It took me 2 days. I was very frustrated, and this afternoon I just went in and I said, just plunk some crap down and get out, and I did. And so I'm going to apologize for that now. This is the worst build ever. I could not figure it out. No matter what I did, no matter how many times I stared at it, no matter what I put down, seeing if it would go good here, go good there. Very upsetting. And this is a long video, and I have absolutely nothing to say. Although, on top of what I just said, I'm still up in the air about Strangerville and Spa Day. Spa Day would probably not be a bad thing. I would use some items and I probably wouldn't use others, because it's always hit or miss with anything. But the point I was trying to make is, no matter what decision I make, it's going to be a bad one, right? So I get Strangerville so I have more places to build. and it's gonna come back to bite. And then I'm thinking, you probably started this backwards. You should have started these videos in Newcrest and just done your own thing, because I'm not used to taking a generic EA house and rebuilding it. That's not something I normally did in the game. I'm almost positive I've mentioned this before. My place was Newcrest. I always went to Newcrest, built my own little world, put in a bar and a club and a museum and a library, a park. I'd create my own characters that lived in that little world, and that's where I stayed. And if any of the EA characters popped up, I tried to ignore them. I probably should have started there or done Let's Plays. I don't know. But I think it's too late now. I think there's 2 more apartments in this world, in that fancy building. Or are there 2 more buildings I still have to do? I don't remember. Let me look at this map. Yeah, Fendi Tower Penthouse. It's another penthouse. Oh no. Hopefully I don't mess it up. So we only have 1 more to do, because I'm not going next door. I looked at next door, and other than it's having more reasonable walls, there was really nothing in there that I would want to tweak. I may come back, do these all over again someday. I don't know. This just really, I think this one pushed me over the edge. It's like, you gotta stop. And I'm just embarrassed to even put this video up. It's horrible. And again, I will apologize for not having too much to say. I'll just add music, I guess, because I can't think of anything. I mean, I had finally got 2 assignments this week, and they were both canceled because of the weather. School was closed. So I won't be getting paid next week. That's kind of sad. My daughter has the flu. You might hear her coughing in the background. She's really, really sick. So that's kind of got me worried. I don't want to get sick. I hate getting sick. Yeah, and then I ended up doing the same thing again, where I take everything apart and then I start reconstructing it exactly the way it was. So I stopped doing that, got rid of everything. I tried to give as much as I could of the struggle that I went through. I think 1850 is a little too long for this pathetic outcome of a build. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, the before even was so ugly. Those closed off rooms on the 2nd floor, and there's just no space. That cramped hallway, the low walls. Everything about this is just so yucky. Which again, as I mentioned, it's a disappointment, because I thought for sure this was going to be a fun place. Apartment living was going to be so cool. Well, how many have there been so far? 2 places that I really enjoyed. And that's it. I may like this next penthouse coming up. I don't know. But I'm just very sad that it turned out this way. I guess I'll just always stick with Newcrest. Newcrest will never let me down. Wish there were more. Well, no I don't. No I don't. There's a huge lot. It's not that big, but it's huge. There's 4 small ones. 2 reasonable ones. And then there's that strip. I notice when I watch other people work in Newcrest, they usually use that strip on the far right to put all of their, the nightclub, the library, the park, the bar. I tend to put a house on one end and a house on the other end, and then I'll put a park with a fishing pond in the middle near that. It's a lookout or something like that. And then someplace kid family oriented, either the library or just a cafe, like an internet cafe. And then I use them little spaces in the top, at the top of the map. I use those for the venues. And then I build my houses at the bottom left on the super big lot, and then the 1, 2, 3, 4 surrounding it. So there's 5 of them there. I have so much fun in Newcrest. I'm never disappointed. But these worlds, so sad. I've looked at that Realm of Magic thing, and again, it's so tiny, and there's just not that much there to build on. The magic thing, it doesn't bother me that much. It's kind of a cute aspect. I'm not over the moon about it. It's not something like, oh my gosh, I have to have this. There's actually not been a single pack where I've reacted that way. Maybe this new one coming up will be different. But again, I doubt it, because it just doesn't. DIY. It kind of throws me that would be in there, because they already have a woodworking table. They have that plant. There's a helicopter flying over the house. I know you can hear it. They're so loud. That bonsai bush, painting easels, the flower table, gardening. What else do they have? Good heavens, helicopter. It's coming right over the house. I can see it on the Audacity. Ooh, now everything's shaking. Alright, it's gone away. Sorry about that. Entertainment. So I'm just saying, there's so much for them to do art-wise. I don't understand what DIY, why everybody would get so freaked out about it. Knitting, big deal. I can't imagine what they'd be. Let me guess, clothing that they can't wear. Items for an animal that I don't own. And on this here, if my audio is up with the video, those little tiny cupboards, I cannot get them to snap in place. I try everything. I hold down Alt, I hold down Shift, I hold down Control, I hold down. They just won't snap into place. Some of them are easier to do than others, depending on which cupboard you're using. But that is so frustrating and annoying. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know why it doesn't work. And then here with this build, I had to ask these guys to come back in so many times. Can you get to the bed? Can you get inside the shower? Can you sit at your computer desk? Can you use the dishwasher? Can you get out on the balcony? It's just way too much for such tiny 2 floors. 2 stories this apartment is, and nothing works. Nothing looked right. I wish I could think of something exciting to talk about, but I just can't. I even did another binge watch yesterday. But it was just Jacksepticeye gameplay and Cold Ones podcasts. Nothing too much to talk about there. Yeah, so this is the after. I left the kitchen. Well, no, that was just a bookcase, wasn't it? And this is the other thing, this balcony thing. It's on a curve, and when you use a curve and you have the trim above it, you can't get in there. There's this one corner that's blocked off, and you gotta really scooch in, zoom in, and even then it's hard to put things down and take things away, and that's frustrating. Now, the only other complaint I'm gonna give today with EA is I don't understand the logic behind the males having to be shorter than the females. Someone has to explain that to me, because I don't. Why would you do that? Why would the male always be a half a head shorter than the female? It looks so stupid. So that's another CC item that I have. Well, it's a mod. It's called a height slider. And I'm pretty sure that it's on my page, but if it's not, you just go to Mod The Sims. They have every single mod you could possibly think of. But this height slider, you just grab the foot, you turn the cast guy aside, you grab his foot and you pull it out to make them taller, and you push it in to make them shorter. So you can make them really short and you can make them really tall, or anything in between. So I tend to use that when I'm in gameplay, because I just don't like that. That's another thing that annoys me. Why the guys have to be shorter? So yeah, they were able to get at those desks. They were able to get into the bed. They were able to use the shower. I didn't do anything wrong. I tested it all, but just really, this is so generic. It's boring and depressing. I could not think of anything to do. And then them shortest height walls. Everything looks massive no matter where you put it or what you put up. I just didn't know what to do. But like I said, it's embarrassing to put something like this. For you guys have to sit through 18 and almost 19 minutes. And I'm not even happy with it, you know. Most artists don't like showing work in progress and things that they're disappointed in, they usually scrap. Well, I scrapped this at least 4 times. But I had to give you something, so this is it. It's just a young couple. They're not married or anything. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.